Mr. D. Tarrolly.
Hey,
Woo!
I was just Al, you're funny, man. You caught me off guard. I was texting a really good friend. And I just said, man, he caught me off guard with this. He caught me off guard. And yeah, and this person knows me pretty well. So it's like just you caught me off guard, dude. I'm just telling you. I was not expecting you to pull out all those pictures. You guys, it's great. One of the things that Mr. Thomas said, this is why we do the business. It's to be able to have that freedom. And it comes at a cost, right? It comes at a price. It's not free. You got to put in the work. But the rewards are great. I mean, I've told people for a long time, there's a lot of people out there that make way more money than even the top leaders in ACN, way more money, but they don't have the lifestyle. If it owns you, that's a problem, right? For a job, if a job owns you, right, that's a problem. What you want is the freedom. Like for me, and I know for Al, it's the time freedom to be able to do, go, spend, be with who you want, when you want, where you want, and how do you put a price tag on that? So when he started showing those pictures, man, like I got my notes for you guys, and I'm telling you right now, he messed me up. I'm just kidding. Al, I appreciate you. It's crazy. You guys keep having me back. How many years have we been doing this now?
We forgot. I don't know. I think we just started.
Yeah, with these, you're right. Like, by the way, he's good, isn't he? Did you guys all hear that? He thinks we just started. I'm gonna tell you, it's going on 3 years. So a long time, right? But I appreciate what he said. That is the reason why we do this business. And you guys, I'm actually not going to be long today. I have a quick message, but it's important, and I'm going to show you something at the end, like I typically do. But what I want you to know is this: is number one, these calls do I always start is my gratitude, my appreciation for Mr. Thomas, his friendship. I always start every month by telling you guys I was at an event in Las Vegas where I was having a challenge. This was years and years and years ago, and I actually pulled Mr. Thomas aside, and we talked for, man, it must have been a good half an hour out in the hallway. The event was going on, but I needed to get some time with him in reference to things that I needed to do to make a senior vice president run. And he took time out of the event that he was running, and we spoke, and I'll never forget it. I mentioned at the beginning of every month that I do this call, now 3 years, but it's the truth. So Al, I appreciate that. You're a class act, and you represent the company and what you do, putting this call together for all these different teams to be a part of. They're not all in your organization, but you treat them like they are. And to me, that's just the sign of a great leader. So I appreciate you, man. So I'm going to dive in. Okay. So here goes. Like I said, this is going to be quick, direct, and to the point. I've covered so much stuff with you guys. I've covered a lot of territory. Like we have painted this canvas for a long time. And here's something that I think, and I was thinking about how I wanted to start the month with you guys. And I really did give this a lot of thought. And then it just sort of came to me. It was just very simple to communicate this to you guys. So I guess the first question I have is, are you ready? Okay. Al nodded his head, and the rest of you are just staring at me. Are you sure you're ready? Okay, cool. So what's the word that we've been hearing so much lately with the launch of Impact Health Sharing, right? There's a word that has come up over and over and over. And what I'm going to go over with you is not about impact, but it's going to reveal something that I think is really important, okay? The word is disrupt. We are disrupting an industry. It is a disruptive service. So, and here it is in my notes for you guys. Uber disrupted the cab industry. Airbnb disrupted the hotel industry. Impact disrupted the health insurance world. ACN disrupted the traditional business paradigm of working and how a lifestyle can be created. So all of these things are disruptive. Okay. When you disrupt something, there's going to be some pain involved. When you disrupt something, there's going to be opinions that are going to come your way. When you disrupt something, you're going to get looked at differently than before you chose to be a part of a disruptive enterprise, no matter what it is. Doesn't matter what it is, right? So, but you have to know, and I have to know, that the greatest advancements that ever happen come from something being disrupted, something being changed, something being improved, something being built upon. And the problem is, by the way, Al, permission to get serious quick. It's going to happen for the whole month, you guys. So by the way, I have no problem with this. If I am in this conversation setting up this month, if I am not your cup of tea, don't worry about rolling in next Thursday. I'm good with it. Just like Al said, you got to clean out old to bring in new, right? I have no issue with it. I want everybody to win, but I have an obligation to tell you, because of the trust that Mr. Thomas has put in me, I have to share with you, what I feel is going to help advance your businesses and hopefully your lives and all of our lives together. So Uber disrupted the cab industry. Airbnb disrupted the hotel industry. Impact disrupted the health industry and is doing it. ACN disrupted the idea of traditional work and business. Do y'all agree with that? So guess what? We know all those things work, yes or no? True? They work. They disrupted it. Someone took a chance. They followed through. They had a plan and they executed it. And a disruptive service program, business model took hold, grew roots, and is now building. So what's the issue? What is the freaking issue? I'm going to tell you what it is, in my opinion. All of those areas, and there's so many others we could talk about that have been disrupted. Here's the issue. You got to disrupt you. You got to figure this thing out and disrupt you. You got to disrupt the routine that you're in. You got to disrupt the thoughts that you have. You have to disrupt how you look at this thing. Because you guys, like for some of you who I've known for a long time, if there was a way for me to go jump through this Zoom and freaking shake you, I would. Like, you need to be shook up. Right? And here's why. If you don't disrupt what you're doing, I believe that your time here is not going to advance your business and your lives and your businesses the way that you want this call to, the way that you want this business to, the way that you want the mentorship to, the way that you want the leadership to, right? You have to be not only willing to be in a disruptive place, you have to kind of want it. See, what leaders do, they do stuff when it's not convenient. Please write this down. Opportunity is inconvenient. You will be inconvenienced on your way to regional coordinator, regional director, regional vice president, and senior vice president. And if you are not open to being inconvenienced, this will be a challenge. And by the way, you guys, for those of you who've been on this call for the the 20 years we've been doing this with Al, I'm telling you right now, if your goal was to be an ETL and be a part of a phenomenal group and a support system and plug into something like this, and that was your end goal, I will be the first to congratulate you. You win. You did what you set out to do. But if you want anything above or beyond where you're at right now, you have to disrupt your thinking, disrupt your schedule, disrupt that. By the way, so some people go, well, hold on, man, hold on. I'm doing this to get time with my family. I'm not trying to give up time with my family to do this. Well, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up. You guys, this is an old Gary V thing that I believe. Entrepreneurship was not designed to take away from your family. Entrepreneurship is designed to take away from everything else. So don't get that twisted. You don't understand, Dean. I'm not trying to miss my kid's game. I'm not saying miss your kid's game. But you know what? When you're watching season 7 of your show, record it. Like, come on. When you're, you guys, think about it. Let's say 7 hours of sleep. Let's say, by the way, who would love 7 hours? Let's say 7 hours of sleep. Let's say 8 hours of work. Okay. 7 hours of sleep, 8 hours of work. That's 15 hours. 2 hours of coming and going, getting ready and whatever, right? That's 17 hours. That's 17 hours. Let's say 3 random hours for whatever it is that needs your attention in your life. That's 20 hours. That's 4 hours that is available to do, be, build, talk, present, peak. I am not open to a conversation of people not having time. That conversation does not work for me. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Now, could you have a day that gets absolutely slammed with stuff that was unpredictable? Of course. You make it up in the next day or two. Am I speaking to anybody on this call right now? Anybody getting this? So when you make a choice, a conscious decision to disrupt your schedule, disrupt your thinking, change the way that you're looking at this, I'm letting you know results are inevitable. They're inevitable. Spend 1 minute with 100 people instead of 100 minutes with one person. You have to get into the law of large numbers and do not be emotionally attached to whether people get it, they like it, they want it, they're into it, they're not into it. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Get me to the next person. People are more motivated by what they have to lose than what they have to gain. People are more motivated by the fact that you may go on without them. I'm dealing with a group right now, a phenomenal group that started out of Illinois, right? We have the #1 producer at regional coordinator. We have the #4 producer at regional director. He's also the #7 producer in team building as a regional director. We also have a brand new promoted regional coordinator. They're both on this call. By the way, they're both on the call. And guess how many times I needed to remind them? 0, none. I'm telling you right now, you're going to hear the name Gayla and you're going to hear the name Jody and you're going to hear the name Val over and over and over again. Why? Because there were a group of people that got started. By the way, I've never been in the same room with any of them except Val years ago. There he is right there. But Val years ago, when he was going to get started in ACN and for some personal reasons, he had to stop. He got started again. And now we have these boss ladies on his team that are smashing this thing. He is on track to go regional director within his first 6 months. They were willing to disrupt their cycle, their circumstances. They were willing to add something into their schedule because they saw that the reward could be that big. I'm telling you. So the thing I want to leave you guys with is this. When you're willing to do things, whether or not you feel like doing things, you're on your way to leadership. When you are willing to do things, whether you feel it or not, because there is a goal in front of you, there is a task at hand, and there's something that you need to get done. There is a goal and you need to smack that goal. And you're willing to do what is required to make that happen. So let me show you this really quickly. And Mr. Thomas, I'm going to turn this back over to you. So bear with me, everybody. And here we go. So this is really good. This is actually Michael Phelps. So if you guys don't know who Michael Phelps is the person who has won more medals in the Olympics than anybody in history in any sport. And what he says here, I think is really Amazing.
5
So
or 6 years, I went every single day without missing a single day. I was in the water on Christmas, birthday, holidays, everything. It didn't matter.
History in Beijing from Michael Phelps.
When you have a goal that's important enough to you, nothing will stand in your way. I swam for over 20 years, and I can guarantee you there was probably 100 days where I didn't want to do anything. I wanted to stay in the pool or stay in my bed and not get out. But those were the days where you have to. You have to get up and do something, because I think that's really what separates the good from the great. The greats do things when they don't always want to do them.
nothing can stop you. That's how it ended. When you have a dream to chase, nothing can stop you. But if you do not disrupt your schedule, that is going to be very difficult. And let me just leave you with this thought. Because if you do not disrupt your schedule, if you do not disrupt your thought process, if you do not disrupt the activities that you're taking, if you do not disrupt this stuff, you have already arrived where you're going to end. And I can't imagine that you guys are on this call right now celebrating where you are right now, that you've accomplished your end goal in this. I can't imagine that's the case. I can't imagine that's the case. Maybe it is, and I don't hate you if it is, but I can't imagine that it is. I imagine that you're on here to elevate where you're at, your business, your productivity, all the things that are tangible results in your business. That's why we do this. So, Mr. Thomas, that's what I wanted to share with you guys. I just want everybody to be thinking that look, this month leading into the new year, I want everybody to be thinking, you know, I need to be in a disruptive place. I need to disrupt my routine. By the way, if you don't know ACN, if you don't know your business, please go to ACN Compass and disrupt your knowledge. So you are more knowledgeable about the things that we have to offer, what we provide, how this thing works. So you're going out there with confidence instead of wishing it worked. You know it's going to work because of where you're at. So